A's Extra.
We're back in the Anglers Extra pregame show. The A's take on the Gatemen today here at Veterans Field, and it's time for the Manager Show. Joe Puccio with Tom Holliday as always. Tom, just a few moments ago, Oral Roberts took down TCU in the first day of the College World Series. Matt Hogan played for Chatham last year, on Oral Roberts this year. What do you have to make about that?
I'm tickled to death for him. I mean, for a kid that spent a couple years at Vanderbilt, didn't get a whole lot of playing time, jumped out, went to South Carolina, had a really weird deal take place there, and I brought him back for a second year up here, and I mean, he just plays like it's his last day on the baseball field. So last year up here, we decided that the best thing to do is go to Oral Roberts and play. It's a guy that said he was going to play, and he's going to play, and he played him, and he had a great year. And for Oral Roberts to be in the World Series is big. For Matt to play in the World Series is really big, and to be a big part of that team is really big. So I'm tickled to death for Matt Hogan.
And you have a relationship with Oral Roberts' coach, is that right?
I do. He was on the same team with my son, and I got to coach Ryan for 4 years, and he went off into pro ball with the Rockies, and I hired him back when he got released. He worked for me in the office. Inevitable he was going to be a great coach. Okay, I thought so. So when you get to Omaha, you're great.
So going back to this Chatham team right now, two more infielders have joined the team, Aiden Miola and Chris Maldonado. Miola was here last year. How excited are you to have him back?
Well, last year, again, I think it was maybe his second game, maybe third, I don't know, but he slipped. Going to his left, separated his shoulder, and boom, going home. And Aiden's had a kind of like a couple of really freaky concussions. He's healthy, and I'll tell you something. There was about a 40-day period where he played about 20 games during the season this year that I thought he was the best third baseman I'd seen in years. Not just good, I mean the best. And he did one of those thumb injuries that took about 30 days to heal. So we get him, and I might even play him a little bit at shortstop. We've been playing the same guy at short. He may play over there. Maldonado is another guy I'd like to see a little bit, to see which position he plays on the infield. But these are the guys that were supposed to be here from day one. That just doesn't happen. It's just not happening up here. So, we're 5 games in, and 2 of my best players just got here today. So, not an excuse, just a fact, and they got in today, so I will probably mix them in maybe somewhere during the game tonight. I would bet that they're going to be in the lineup tomorrow, and we got some more guys coming tomorrow. So, as they trickle in, I mean, you're going to see guys disappear. That's just part of it, part of the system. So, next question.
It's Tom Holliday here on the Manager Show. Tom, it seems like not only with this team, but in teams you've had in the past, there's been a lot of positionless players, guys that come up to the Cape to find a position. What's the benefit of having those guys on the roster?
Well, you don't, that's not by design. Sometimes that just happens. The shortstop that we ticketed to play short is still playing, so we may not have him for 2 more weeks. So somebody's got to slide over there. Antonacci is a shortstop by trade, but again, he was a temp that played in junior college last year. So, sometimes, again, like I said, man, the way these rosters are constructed up here, you might sit there and think you're the smartest guy on earth. You can never figure this thing out. So, not by design. Torkelson was funny because he didn't have a position, and he told me that when he got here. And, we played with him in the outfield, and he said, I can go to first. Well, you know what? The joke is in baseball, anybody can go to first base. I don't buy that, but it's a joke. And we got several of those kind of guys. I mean, the one thing I tried to get stable at was behind the plate and in center field and down the middle. You always look for that. Those 3 are the most important positions on the field, and we don't have our center fielders here either. We're waiting for Etzel. He's going to go to the combine, so we're not a real glorified defensive jargon on. I can tell you that, and it hurts. It hurts pitching, and until kids learn how to use a wooden bat, you got to pitch and play defense. So we're half of that. We've pitched pretty good. We had an ugly inning last night. We've had 2 ugly innings, cost us 2 games. So got to patch that up a little bit after we get our kids accustomed to how they're going to pitch.
Speaking of pitching, Hayden Dirk back on the bump today. What are you hoping to see out of him tonight?
I like to see what I saw last time, just a little bit more strikes, a little bit more relaxation. You know, I keep taking these guys that are coming up here that are going to be drafted really high because I think that they're pitching for something. It's not just like a Cape Cod outing. It's really important to them. And I thought he was uptight the other night. And then you have Breck and Wilkinson just walked out there and act like, you know, pitching's easy. So the guys like Dirk and Gibson, they are pitching for something. They're pitching for money because they didn't pitch this year. So I just hope he's a little bit better, more relaxed tonight than he was last time.
Tom, thanks for the time.
You got it.
Chatham and Wareham coming up at 7 p.m. Let's send things over to Andrew Selver as the Anglers Extra pregame show continues.